Hello there, I'm Azaria Tagaya and this is Nightline, the top stories. Electricity tariff hike will not affect 85% of the population, says Prime Minister. And 50% toll discount to be implemented during all festive seasons this year. Good morning. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim on Tuesday has assured that the electricity tariff adjustment set to be implemented in the second half of this year will not affect 85% of the country's population. He emphasised that the tariff review will only apply to industries as well as the super wealthy.
Speaking during the Prime Minister's question time in the Dewan Rakyat, Anwar also confirmed that the tariff hike will be less than 14%.
Jadi kita kena terima kenyataan kenaikan tarif yang munasabah bagi industri dan golongan kaya. Dan saya sebut di depan peniaga-peniaga semalam, kita tidak akan tolak ansur, kita terpaksa naikkan. Tetapi tidak melibatkan 85% rakyat yang berhormat. Dengar betul-betul ni.
The tariff adjustment is in accordance with the imbalance cost pass-through ICPT mechanism, which accounts for fluctuations in fuel costs.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister also announced that the new paddy floor price will be revealed next week. Anwar stated that the price adjustment aims to maintain price stability in the local rice market.
The government will also allocate an additional 150 million ringgit in subsidies to stabilise local rice prices and ease the burden on consumers.
Kita kena juga tambah lagi subsidi 150 juta minimum yang saya tengok untuk 6 bulan daripada kerajaan supaya kos pengguna tidak naik. Kita tak boleh bicara satu pihak bagi nak pertahankan pengguna memangsakan pesawat ataupun nak menaikkan pesawat memangsakan pengguna. Kerana pengguna yang miskin B40 pun ramai.
On January 27th, farmers had raised two key concerns for consideration by the government, including increasing the paddy floor price from 1,300 ringgit per tonne to 1,800 ringgit per tonne. Meanwhile, the government has approved 1 billion ringgit in funding to boost paddy production productivity in Kedah. The allocation will be channeled through the Muda Agricultural Development Authority, or MADA, and is set to be launched by the end of the month.
On another matter, the Prime Minister said Malaysia is looking to expand its trade partnerships in order to mitigate the impact of escalating global trade tensions. At the same time, he said the country will adopt a wait-and-see approach regarding the United States' import tariff policy.
Yang kita lakukan selama ini ialah pertama dasar yang saya sebutkan tadi, bebas dan berkecuali, tetapi secara agresif membuka jaringan dengan negara lain. Umpamanya dengan Afrika melalui Afrika Selatan dan Ethiopia, melalui Latin America, melalui Brazil dan Peru. Kita buka umpamanya satu pendekatan yang lebih baik dengan negara China dan Rusia.
Regarding the potential impact of tariffs on BRICS member countries, Anwar noted that Malaysia is not yet an official member of BRICS. However, the government, through the cabinet, will take the necessary steps by establishing a special committee to assess the situation.
The government will implement a 50% toll discount during this year's festive seasons. Works Minister Datuk Seri Alexander Nantalinggi said the initiative is aimed at easing the burden of the people.
Kita menggunakan lebih 100 juta satu tahun. Ya? Tapi kalau 50%, 80%, bayangkan 160 bagi dua lah. Itu kerajaan akan bayar kepada syarikat konsesi tu.
During the Chinese New Year period, the government agreed to give a 50% toll discount for all Class 1 private vehicles. The decision was finalised in a cabinet meeting on January 24th, involving a financial implication of 20.08 million ringgit, which the government will compensate to concession companies. Datuk Seri Alexander stated that the cabinet has the flexibility to review and make decisions regarding the matter based on current needs.
Melaka Yang di-Pertuan Negeri Tun Muhammad Ali Rustam and his delegation visited the News and Current Affairs Division of Media Prima Berhad at Balai Berita Bangsa on Tuesday. During the visit, the delegation was briefed on Media Prima Berhad's overall operations, followed by a tour of the newsroom.
Tun Muhammad Ali arrived at Balai Berita at 11 a.m. and was welcomed by Media Prima Group Chairman Datuk Sri Dr. Said Hussein Al-Junaid and Group Managing Director Rafiq Razali. The visit began with a briefing on Media Prima Berhad's overall operations. This was followed by a tour of the print news operations of the New Straits Times Press, which publishes the New Straits Times, Berita Harian and Harian Metro, offering insight into the workings of some of Malaysia's most prominent newspapers. During the tour of the television studios, Tun Muhammad Ali had the unique opportunity to participate in a live news reading session.
Penyampai istimewa.
Dan saya Tun Dr. Muhammad Ali Rustam. Program Anjuran Kerajaan Negeri.
During the visit, which lasted about 3 hours, the delegation was also taken to the offices of Rev Media Group, Media Prima Television Network Studios and Media Prima Audio, which oversees popular radio stations such as Hot FM, Cool 101, Mole FM, Fly FM and 8 FM. Also present were Media Prima Group Chief Financial Officer Rosli Sabarudin, Media Prima Omnia Chief Operating Officer Datuk Muhammad Effendi Omar, Media Prima Audio Chief Executive Officer Nazri Noran, Media Prima News and Current Affairs Deputy Group Managing Editor and New Straits Times Group Editor Farah Naz Abdul Karim, Television Networks News and Current Affairs Group Editor Azhari Muhyiddin and Group Corporate Communications Manager Azlan Abdulaziz.
Civil servants who accumulate debts exceeding 10 times their monthly salary may now face disciplinary action. According to Chief Secretary to the Government, Tan Sri Shamsul Azri Abu Bakar, action can be taken under the Public Officers Conduct and Discipline Regulations.
Speaking to TV3, Shamsul Azri revealed that in 2023, some 103 civil servants faced disciplinary measures for bankruptcy-related offences. He stressed that a civil servant's net income must remain at a minimum of 40% of their monthly salary. Failure to meet this threshold due to excessive debt could result in disciplinary action.
Keterhutangannya melebihi 10 kali allowance bulanannya. Yang kedua, disebabkan oleh penghutang penghakiman atau tidak dapat dijelaskan dalam tempoh 1 bulan daripada perintah penghakiman atau pegawai yang diisytiharkan bankrupt oleh mahkamah atau badan-badan yang berkuasa.
He stated that the main reason civil servants fall into serious debt can be attributed to their lifestyle choices and a lack of financial literacy, which can ultimately affect their work performance. To address this matter, the government has introduced several measures, including enhancing financial literacy among civil servants and closer monitoring by department heads to prevent excessive borrowing.
Saya akan minta JPA untuk buat kolaborasi dengan AKPK ni supaya memberi lebih pemahaman tentang pengurusan kewangan dan juga aspek-aspek berkaitan dengan kerahsiaan peribadi.
Meanwhile, Tan Sri Shamsul Azri has urged civil servants who have been unfairly affected by issues surrounding loans to lodge a police report and refer their case to the relevant authorities.
Dia boleh buat depan polis, kita akan tengoklah how severe it is. Kalau betul-betul dia memang kerajaan sentiasa membela orang yang terinaya. So kalau dia memang terinaya, kita akan bela lah.
A policy to reassign civil servants at service counters of ministries and related agencies in a bid to improve efficiency took effect on Tuesday. It involves key ministries that are directly responsible for service delivery to the public.
According to Public Service Director General Tan Sri Wan Ahmad Dahlan Abdul Aziz, the initiative aims to develop the skills of officers stationed at service counters, diversify their work capabilities and improve customer experience by offering more efficient and friendly service. The move aligns with the broader goal of public service reforms to create a more dynamic and responsive system that meets the needs of the people. The rotation policy will also help provide the officers with the necessary exposure for various counter-related duties and enable them to efficiently handle a wider range of customer inquiries and concerns. They will also receive regular training and continuous monitoring. The move is in line with an earlier directive by Chief Secretary to the Government, Tan Sri Shamsul Azri Abu Bakar, on job rotation policies for civil servants who have served at service counters for over 5 years.
In Kedah, a sundry shop owner was charged in the Kuala Nerang Magistrates Court in Padang Terap on Tuesday with criminal intimidation and unlawful discharge of a firearm. The accused, 57-year-old Yusuf Saleh, claimed trial to both charges before Magistrate Nurul Huda Idris.
Yusuf is charged with firing 2 shots from a double-barrel shotgun to intimidate 5 teenagers suspected of stealing money from his shop on January 27th. For the first charge, he allegedly threatened to harm 5 teenagers aged between 15 and 16. The charge, framed under the Penal Code, carries a maximum 7-year prison term or a fine or both. For the second charge, he is accused of discharging a double-barreled shotgun at an unauthorized location. The offence under the Arms Act carries a maximum term of 1 year in prison, a fine of up to 2,000 ringgit or both. He is alleged to have committed both offences at about 11 a.m. at a sundry shop and eatery in Kampung Bagan in Padang Terap. The court fixed bail at 8,000 ringgit and set March 4th for case mention.
In Perlis, a secondary school teacher was charged in the Kanga Magistrates Court on Tuesday with sexual assault on 2 13-year-old male students. The accused, 44-year-old Ahmad Fairuz Abu Zaid, pleaded not guilty when the charges were read before Magistrate Nur Shahida Abdul Rahim. The first 4 charges state that Fairuz sexually assaulted 1 student in a room at the school in Simpang Empat in Kanga on 4 separate occasions between August and November 2023. The 5th charge states that Fairuz sexually assaulted another student at the same location in November 2023. The court set bail at 12,000 ringgit with 1 shorty and fixed March 3rd for case mention. Developments in open-source AI platforms such as DeepSeek will not impact Malaysia's data centre investments. According to Digital Minister Gobind Singh Deo, the technology only serves to underscore the critical importance of data centres.
To provide services at a much lower cost, you're going to be able to scale it a lot faster. You're going to see a lot of people using these services. And if that be the case, then of course there will be an increased demand for data.
The Digital Minister said this during the launch of the 5G Advanced platform on Tuesday. He further stated that DeepSeek has great potential for rapid growth, especially if developed at a lower cost. As such, the government must ensure policies are adaptable to these new advancements. Malaysia's manufacturing sector is likely to sustain positive growth, buoyed by resilient domestic demand and gradual improvements in supply chain conditions. However, downside risks to external demand remain elevated, mainly in the second half of 2025. According to Public Investment Bank Berhad, this is due to subdued global growth prospects and escalating geopolitical tensions on export-oriented industries. Heightened uncertainty surrounding global trade policies, especially following Donald Trump's policy stance, could add further pressure on industrial activity. Despite these challenges, steady domestic consumption, fiscal measures supporting investment and the gradual recovery in key trading partners may help mitigate external headwinds.
How will Malaysia's leadership in 2025 redefine ASEAN's global role? In what ways can Malaysia strengthen ASEAN's unity and progress? What bold actions can Malaysia take to drive ASEAN's growth and influence? Muhammad Ahmad Hamdan speaks with Tan Sri Dr. Munir Majid only on Money Matters this Saturday at 5 p.m. on TV3 and stream on Tonton.
In other news, China on Tuesday said it will impose tariffs on 15% of imports of coal and liquefied natural gas from the United States in retaliation for Washington's 10% levies on Chinese goods. China's Ministry of Finance also announced that there will be a 10% tariffs on imports from the US of crude oil, agricultural machinery, large displacement vehicles and pickup trucks. It said the new measures were in response to the unilateral tariff hike by the US, adding that Washington's decision seriously violates World Trade Organization rules, does nothing to resolve its own problems and disrupts normal economic and trade cooperation between China and the United States. Beijing's tariffs, which come into force next Monday, were announced shortly after Trump said he would hold a call with President Xi Jinping in the next 24 hours. Ronaldo scores twice as Al Nassr trashes Al Wasl. Sports after this breather.
Kalau semua ejen dah pakai Iris, Mata perlukan saya lagi ke?
Kenapa semangat sangat nak kejar aku sampai sini?
Semua rimau aku serang, aku masih boleh tendang. Kalau nampak jangan cengang, kalau kacau benang kami nanti dengar gendang perang. Lepas lawan yang di sini, lawan yang sebelah. Kita jaga kita.
Awak ni boleh jadi dark horse tau. You are a complete performer. So saya harap to see more of you.
Saya salute you punya semangat tu. You know, you have a very unique voice.
I saw you keluar, I said, man, for her to nyanyi begitu, now that's hebat lah, come on.
Saya lihat suspek seolah-olah membaca mantra dan suspek menghembus kiri dan kanan.
Bomoh tu datang, masuk ke dalam rumah dan kemudian menjalankan satu upacara macam akad nikah. Tanpa wali, tanpa saksi dan sebagainya.
Siapa sangka pasca pandemik telah mengembangkan lagi penggunaan private cabin di sektor pelancongan di Malaysia.
Bukan sahaja orang buat sebagai rumah, chalet, homestay, tapi ada jugalah yang buat sebagai klinik.
Teknologi ini boleh diterapkan dalam silibus pembelajaran kemahiran.
Majalah 3 Kapsul, Sabtu 10 malam di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
We're back with sports, football and the AFC Champions League elite. Cristiano Ronaldo scored a brace to lead Al Nassr to a 4-0 victory against Al Wasl in the West Group stage on Monday.
Al Nassr took the lead in the 25th minute through a powerful strike from Ali Al Hassan, who drilled the ball into the bottom left corner from outside the box. Captain Ronaldo doubled the lead from the spot just before half-time following a handball error by Al Wasl's Salim Awad. The Portuguese superstar netted his second of the match in the 78th minute after heading in a perfectly flighted cross from Sadio Mane. Mohamed Al Fatih landed the final blow 10 minutes later, securing a comfortable 3-0 victory for Al Nassr. With the result, Al Nassr remains third in its group with 16 points, while Al Wasl sits fifth with 11 points. In another match, Al Ahli Saudi's excellent campaign continued after they came from behind to defeat Qatar's Al Sadd SC 3-1. Akram Afif put Al Sadd ahead after just 48 seconds into the match when he chipped the ball over Al Ahli's goalkeeper, scoring a brilliant goal. Roberto Firmino then leveled the score with an acrobatic finish from close range 9 minutes later, with Roger Ibanez extending Al Saudi's lead when he struck a powerful shot just before the interval. The 2-1 scoreline remained until the 81st minute when Riyad Mahrez slotted the ball home to seal a 3-1 victory for Al Ahli. The victory lifts Al Ahli to 19 points, while Al Sadd is in fourth place with 12 points.
Tennis now. The 2025 Rotterdam Open. Daniil Medvedev fought his way past veteran Swiss star Stan Wawrinka in 3 sets to reach the second round on Monday.
Despite losing 2 set points in the first set, the second-seed Russian rallied to an entertaining 6-7, 6-4, 6-1 triumph over the fellow former champion in the first round. The 28-year-old will next face Italian qualifier Mattia Bellucci. Earlier, 6th-seed Stefanos Tsitsipas of Greece defeated France's Arol Maillon in straight sets 6-1, 7-5 in 1 hour and 24 minutes to reach the second round. 2022 finalist Tsitsipas awaits either Matteo Berrettini or home favourite Talon Griekspoor in the next round. Joining them was Hubert Hurkacz. The Polish world number 21 claimed a 6-3, 6-2 victory over his Italian counterpart Flavio Cobolli to set up a meeting with Jiří Lehečka in the second round.
Trump to withdraw US from UN Rights Council. The details when Nightline returns.
Hai kawan-kawan, kawan-kawan pernah tak rasa tak selesa bila ada orang cuba sentuh badan kita? Kawan-kawan ni ingat tahu badan kita ni milik kita. Kalau ada orang sentuh tak izin, korang cakap tidak. Lepas tu korang bagi tahu ibu bapa ataupun cikgu ataupun kakak dan abang, okey?
Betul tu. Ingat, tak ada orang yang boleh buat kita rasa takut dan tak selesa. Kita berhak rasa selamat dan dilindungi.
Tusuk terus kau jiwa rasa yang ku ada Kepelati kita Idamkan cinta ini.
Cara bernyanyimu luar biasa. Saya salut dan keren sangat.
Keren sangat ni.
Sangat.
You understand apa yang you luahkan.
Whether you menang or not 1 million, I'm gonna make a prediction. AJL tahun depan, awak ada.
Saya lihat suspek seolah-olah membaca mantra dan suspek menghembus kiri dan kanan.
Bomoh tu datang, masuk ke dalam rumah dan kemudian menjalankan satu upacara macam akad nikah. Tanpa wali, tanpa saksi dan sebagainya.
Rasai vibrasi nada rasa 10 finalis anugerah juara lagu 39 dengan mendapatkan tiket di www.wowtix.com.my atau imbas kod QR berikut. Kalau takut sold out, beli tiket sekarang. Hidupkan nada rasa di malam anugerah juara lagu 39 secara langsung di Aziata Arena Ahad 16 Februari 9 malam, eksklusif di TV3 dan stream juga melalui Tonton. Terangkat rasa.
Still with us on Nightline, on to the foreign front. At least 5 people have been shot at a school in the central Swedish city of Örebro on Tuesday, following reports of automatic weapons fire as a major police operation was launched. The shots were reported at the Risberska school around 1 p.m. local time. Swedish police said an operation is ongoing at the school, warning of a suspected serious crime of violence. The extent of injuries sustained by the victims, however, is yet to be determined, and emergency responders are actively assessing the situation. There were also reports that the shooter turned the gun on himself at the scene, but this is also yet to be confirmed by police. US President Donald Trump is expected to issue an executive order on Tuesday withdrawing the US from the United Nations UN Human Rights Council and prohibiting future funding for the UN relief agency UNRWA for Gaza. The actions, which reinstate policies in place during the last Trump administration, will come on the day the president is set to meet with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Washington. It also comes as the Trump administration puts the future of the United States Agency for International Development, which also promotes human rights abroad, into question over concerns whether it aligns with the president's America First policy and how its dollars are being spent. The UN and the UNRWA have not commented on the development.
Earlier, a source from the political bureau of Hamas on Monday said that the movement is ready to engage in indirect negotiations with Israel to implement the second phase of the ceasefire and a potential prisoner for hostage exchange. The source said that Hamas has fulfilled all the terms of the agreement and is ready to start indirect negotiations with Israel to finalize the second phase. However, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu traveled to Washington on Sunday to meet with US President Donald Trump. Media reports indicate that Netanyahu has decided to delay sending a negotiation team to Qatar for talks on the second phase until after his meeting with Trump.
Australian authorities on Tuesday said a second woman is confirmed to have died in flooding, which has inflicted incredible devastation on communities in northern Australia. Police said the 82-year-old woman's body was found in a cane paddock in Queensland on Tuesday, where fewer than 10,000 properties are without power. Thousands of evacuated residents began returning to their homes. However, it is feared hundreds of properties and businesses have been inundated. About 2 meters of water fell across the state since Saturday, with 6 months of rain recorded in some areas. Meanwhile, a severe thunderstorm warning was still in place for parts of the area.
Saya lihat suspek seolah-olah membaca mantra dan suspek menghembus kiri dan kanan.
Bomoh tu datang, masuk ke dalam rumah dan kemudian menjalankan satu upacara macam akad nikah. Tanpa wali, tanpa saksi dan sebagainya.
Well, that concludes Nightline this time around. Before we leave, let's take a look as the Copenhagen Light Festival returns this year with a series of light installations set to transform the city for a month. With that, I'm Azaria Tagaya. Thank you for watching and we'll see you next time.